Good evening, greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP, greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host for the evening. My name is Bathun Das. I am from Bangladesh. Dear Knowledge Seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social and certified international educational and training institute. In last years, we already served 35 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus profession and 4,500 plus organizations. Institute of Global Profession and Education Institute that provide social work globally recognized and reputable. We serve student community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective to increase one skill just by informal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate professional generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, national, international to student, job seeker, job holder, and also for learner the respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online institute from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product; it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all of the world for free webinars, seminar courses, award quiz competition. That we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for free, like Trade One Portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and wall knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can upgrade all day. kids learning game website, free course, convert sites, and many more. We help empower you to learn to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar, and offline online courses for you to learn by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our session are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kind of views and promote the education of their abilities and personal speaking knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professional. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and we'll start them with good research and practice method. We must have a genuine concept for the learner represent more diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. As GP member are committed to offering effective best quality service and continual improvement so that individual who seek information can improve their skill level and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we already completed 1,940 webinars successfully. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we already completed 1,940 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participant, and well-wisher, at this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We change and design our website www.edioigp.com. On this website, we have surprise for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched a new website where you can find all our previous activities together with lots of new features. But one strong point is that without an account or login, you cannot enjoy our services. So create an account for once with profile information. Note that with profile information, you will enjoy all features. With mismatch data, you cannot do anything here. From now on, you have to participate in live quiz competition on our website. We replace that, you have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars with verified certificate. Now it's easier and time limited because after the session, we will not provide you any code for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you pass, you will receive your certificate, otherwise not. But you can take part in an exam unlimited till you pass. If you are an IGP speaker, you can download all your previous certificate, speakership certificate. If you are a host of IGP, you can download the certificate of gratitude. If you are an online live quiz competition winner, you can download the certificate of participation. If you are selected for lifetime membership, then you can download the certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participate in an award function which organizes comments about it, you can download that also. You can instantly prepare and download 18 types of certificate from our website in a minute. Certificate of Global Professional Membership, Certificate of Global Influence in the Pandemic, Certificate of Active Knowledge Seeker, Certificate of Social Activities in the Pandemic, Certificate of Achievement, IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2020, 2021, and 2022, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 1, Authentic Assessment in Teaching Learning, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 2, Teaching English as a Foreign Language and Assessment, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 3, Digital Classroom Engagement 2, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 4, Upskill Emotional Leadership and Management Skills, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5, the New Trend in Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 6, Trend and Innovation in Mathematics Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 7, Research of Comprehension Approach, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 8, Art in Digital Special Program in the Arts, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 9, 21st Century Turing Teaching Mathematics, Certificate of IGP Corporate Ambassador, Certificate of IGP Campus Ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1,000+ international level quiz with verified certificate. Teaching tips for teacher, health tips for parents, health tips for teens, gamification tools for teacher. You can join IGP alumni. You can check out our 50 services website for free and many more. They are IGP well wisher, we promise privacy, but lack of technical problem will late sending you on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous connection. We solve all issue from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check out the for all of the details. It's a cordial request to check all button and pages on our website. If you like and will be benefited. Thank you, but note that without an account or login, you cannot enjoy service. At present, I will start at 1941 webinar, whose name is Planning for Population Education, and today speaker ma'am name is Dr. Ismat Mustafa Khan. She is from Pakistan. Before I hand over the stage to our speaker ma'am, I'll share a very little bit about her. Teaching lower SC and SEC level OPF Girls School Rajapindi gold medalist masters level. Now very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Now very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Hello ma'am, good evening. Ma'am, I can't hear you. Ma'am, please check your volume system. We can't hear you.
audible?
Yes, ma'am. Now you are audible. Ma'am, please
Okay.
present your presentation.
Okay, fine. Let me start with my presentation. If I am audible, but let me start with my presentation. Just give me a while to take a start
Yes,
for the.
ma'am. You are audible.
Okay, fine. My presentation is there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. The topic on which, thank you so much for handing over the stage to me. The topic on which I have to talk about is planning for population education. And as I've been a part of the IGP for the last 2 years as a speaker, I've been working with IGP, and every time I feel glad to be a part of Institute of Global Professionals. And a big thank you for this opportunity and this platform. The topic on which I have to say a few words today is planning for population education. This is one area that many of the countries, and even within our country also, particularly the countries of Africa and Asia, there is a dire need of this topic of population education to be made a part of the curriculum. So this topic is of great significance, especially for the countries who are lying in Asia and Africa. And this is actually the presentation on which I have to talk about. The very first thing is we should know that what is population planning actually. And before knowing that what is population planning, we should try to know and understand only the meanings of planning. uh, when we have some alternatives which are foreseeable, then evaluation of such foreseeable alternatives is known as planning. And same is the application of the definition of planning with reference to population. When we do population planning in education, we actually are evaluating the foreseeable alternatives for achieving our targets, setting the future alternatives to achieve targets in a very defined direction. Now, you see, the direction should also be very well defined with the available resources, with the best utilization of the available resources, and we have to keep into account the perspective of population change. This is population planning actually. Uh, the entire earth, the entire globe, it has been facing a tremendous problem of population explosion. How to combat with this problem, how to handle and manage this population problem is actually what we have to study in population planning education. This is why this is important. The importance of this topic is that as the entire earth is facing this problem, so it is a global issue and it needs a global approach, a you can say an integrated approach is needed to handle this problem of population explosion. And until and unless we make it a part of our education, the coming generation and the present generation will never be able to understand the problem, the consequences, and the management with appropriate solutions. It is an education program. I'm talking about the population education, which is an education program to make individuals, particularly the young and adult people, aware of the processes and consequences of population change on the quality of life at micro and macro levels with the purpose of achieving responsible decision making and realization by the individuals towards handling the situation. So the basic objective of population education is to create awareness, and not only to create awareness, what can be the uh, you can say expected results of population explosion on the quality of life at micro levels as well as at macro levels. And therefore the urgent need of the hour is that in decision making by the individuals, by the community members, and as a whole by the entire nation and by the stakeholders, what possible measures can be taken. This is the basic purpose of population education, and this is why we always want this topic to be a part of the current curricula. Now, the aim of population education is once again, it's even a detailed purpose, the detailed objective of population education, enabling individuals develop a better understanding of population dynamics. As population is not a static thing, and it is continuously on the move. So the causes and consequences of population growth, they must be understood, and the consequences must be interpreted well by the individuals, because these are the individuals actually who are making the whole. Then the interrelationship of population change to development, as well as the components of quality of life that include health, housing, environment, food and nutrition, education, employment, and social services. Education, employment, and social services. So these are some of the components. When we talk about the quality of life and a better quality life, a better standard of life, then we need to fulfill the basic necessities, the fundamental necessities of life, along with these things which make a healthy social survival of every individual on the face of the earth. For all this awareness, knowledge, and the responding to this awareness, that matters even more. We have two types of population planning, that is strategic planning and the management planning. Strategic planning is actually the planning that is done at a higher level. That is basically done by the decision makers of the nations and of the states. And whatever decisions, decisions they are going to make, how they need to be implemented, that is done in the management. Now, when decisions are being made, that is the strategic planning. But when these decisions are being implemented in the practical terms, that is actually the management planning. So both plannings are important at the same time, because they are both interdependent on each other. Management planning cannot be a success until and unless there is a strong strategic planning. And strategic planning, it can not be a success until and unless the management planning is done in a wiser way. So these are two types of population planning. And the approaches to population planning, they are obviously, individual approach is a very initial approach from which we start with the population planning. That is done by the individuals of the society, of the community. And then comes the family approach. Obviously, individuals are part of some families. So before coming towards the society, which is the group approach, there comes the family approach. This is the intermediate level between the individual and the group approach. And these all together, along with a broader spectrum, they are considered into the integrated approach. Without you integrate all these approaches, you cannot be able to move forward in population planning. The planning cycle, actually, this red colored, you can see the red color title, that is the very first stage in planning cycle. Especially when you are doing the population planning, the very first stage is you have to gather and collect the data. The first hand sources of information should be there, and I'll not go into the details of the data collection, but the very first stage is data collection. Then come towards the second stage, that is analysis of that data. How do you analyze that data? Analysis, rather, this is a very important stage, because your information that you have collected is of no use until and unless you analyze it in a better way. So analytical approach obviously is needed. And then we have to obviously create a plan according to our analysis of the collected data. And after creating a plan in a very wise way, then the implementation of plan comes. The implementation of plan is actually the management planning that I discussed earlier. And then not only the implementation, then somebody has to, obviously, there must be some eyes to monitor the implementation, the correct, right implementation of the plan, and then come towards the setting of goals. So according, when the plan is monitored well, then your goals are set, achieved, and for the next betterment of the next cycle, the next first step of the cycle, this is an overlapping stage. So we believe that in the population planning cycle, the dealing with the data, collecting with the data, analysis of the data, implementation of the plan after once the plan gets created, and monitoring of the plan, they are really important. And sometimes you have to review your planning measures, your planning stages, and your planning steps when they are needed. Planning population program. Now that is the description, or you can say that is the further elaboration of the slide which I have already discussed. That is, the very first thing is pre-planning, which is the data collection in fact. Then policy making needs. Coming towards the very first stage is pre-planning, then diagnosis, then data collection. The very first thing is planning beforehand, diagnosis, and then collection of data. After the data collection, the policy making, the target setting, the future need analysis. Some of the things we generally, when we are doing population planning, and in education when we are talking about the population planning, then the need assessment is something of great significance. Until and unless you know what is needed, you cannot just set your track on which track you have to move along. Cost analysis, again, that how much money would be required, how much financial barriers would be there that can hamper your planning procedure. Feasibility, how much you can say is the possibility of the success, and you must also keep into account that your plan may not be a success. You have to see the feasibility of its success, and its practical implementation feasibility is also very important. Then comes the plan, and then comes the elaboration of the plan, and then comes the implementation, and last but not the least is the evaluation. You will find out either you have implemented it rightly and you have achieved the consequences and the targets which you set for this plan successfully or not. And in depth, we can say situation analysis or benchmark analysis is the first phase. Formulation of program activities in detail is the second phase. Preparation of your work plan is the third phase. Implementation of your work plan, evaluation of your work plan. And this is the step that was not mentioned in the previous slide and is something without which you cannot go ahead, is re-examination and redesigning if needed. Until and unless you come to know your weaknesses, you cannot achieve success for your next move. So, in order to have a wise, intelligent next move regarding the population planning, once the plan is being made, its re-examination, review, and redesigning where needed is very important, since this is the thing which is going to let you know where you are standing and where you still have to go. In As I was already telling you that my focus is the mainly not only these countries, but the main major areas are African and Asian countries. So there are a number of constraints and barriers in population planning, and everybody must have heard about these. There's a social aspect, there are political legal factors, there are environmental influences, newness of the subject, this population education, as I was telling you, this must have to be a part of the current curricula in order to create awareness. So newness of the subject is there, which is also a problem, and there is lack of trained personnel is there. Obviously, the teachers and those who are imparting education, they must also be very well aware of the problem themselves, and they must be confident in elaborating the subject matter themselves, and the consequences, they should be very clear in their mind, and for this their training is needed. So overall, we say in population planning and in population planning education, there are the best factors, that are the political factors, economic factors, social factors, and technological factors. They are the factors which affect population planning. So these constraints, they also need very wise handling. Today, the world is facing an enormous problem of population explosion. The world population has exceeded 8 billion. Now, how it has exceeded, it has just crossed the figure of 8 billion. So this graph is clearly telling that how an inclination curve can be seen. So the real point to ponder at this very moment is that all the stakeholders and all the community members, the individual members, the family members, they should take this as a serious issue, because the possible consequences of this population explosion can be overuse of natural resources like water, land, soil, natural forests, increase in food demand. What we are going to leave for our coming generations? Increase in waste generation. Obviously, when populations are more, the generation of waste is much more than the previous ones. Increased demand of medical facilities, shortage of education facilities, other effects like unemployment, increase in crime rate. As population is exploding, so is the pressure on urban areas is increasing. The, you can say, unplanned growth of urban cities, urban areas, it is leading to a number of problems. Only a few of these have been listed here. There are many sub, I can say, the sub points of these points are there, and which need, which are alarming and which need an immediate attention of the concerned authorities. In the coming years, if we are not going to address this problem of population explosion, the idea of sustainability, the idea of conservation, they will be no more of any use. And how can we just handle this problem is by creating awareness and by making this population planning as a part of our educational curricula, as a part of our syllabus. Now, what we can do is that policy coordination can be done. This is something again of great importance. Coordinated plans are needed, not only within a country. Within a country, obviously, they are needed, but at a global level, we need a coordinated policy which can handle these countries, especially the developing countries. Precautionary approach is needed. Uh, so far as I think, we are now, we have crossed the limit of precautionary approach stage. Still, for the coming years, best before the situation it gets too worse, we should adopt a precautionary approach. The coming generation, the coming people, they should approach a precautionary approach. Environmental education, if population education cannot directly be made a part of education, we can at least include it in the environmental education. The environmental studies, they remain incomplete without population studies. Then regional environmental activism should be there. International cooperation is needed. The nations, the entire nation of the world, they have to go hand in hand with each other, because this is the problem which the entire globe is facing at present, and the entire globe needs this problem to be handled. Public awareness, this is, again, this is, I think, the major point, that public awareness is needed. Public awareness and policy coordination plus environmental education. Research and development should be done. They should definitely be done. But obviously, before going to the stage of research and development, public awareness is needed, which is the preliminary step for population education. The world celebrates Population Day on every 11th of July. And this is the real point. This is the stage where all of us, we need to be very wise, vigilant, and as if we are getting this education, we should let our children also get this education. If we haven't got this education, even then we should let our children get this type of education, because they are the future bearers, and they need to be taught and educated in such a nice, intelligent, wiser way that they can just keep the earth in their hands safe. For obviously, some people would be coming after them. So, we should give them a very wise, intelligent approach of handling the current resources with the best use of population planning education. So, I strongly recommend that education of population planning must need to be a part of our curricula for every stage, for from lower secondary to higher secondary. This education must be included, must be taught at school level, at every level. Even for the researchers, those who are interested in this subject, they should also inculcate this spirit of including this in the curricula of the current generation. Thank you so much. And the population studies, the need of population studies and planning, in short, I can say that for the social, economic, political, biological, and genetic, geographical, environmental, and for all the health factors, we need these population studies to be there. Then, world population policy is legislative measures, administrative programs, and government actions for better survival of nations by creating controlled, skilled, prosperous, and healthy population. Now, population, sometimes I have to quote this example that, like the Japanese, their population is not less, but they are not overpopulated because they have managed their population with the utilization of their available resources. So, the legislation and the administrative policies, the governmental actions, they should be for the better survival of nations. Like if we take the example of Finland, this is a classic example of enjoying highest gross national happiness for last 5 years in a row. Why? Because their population is controlled, skilled, prosperous, and healthy in a way that the people and the concerned authorities, which are the state authorities, they are working hand in hand with each other. So, gross national production, GDPs, GNPs, they are very important. But above all, the GNH is also very important. The happiness level of the people is very important. And when the people are happy with the state, then the state can easily let them know. The state can easily mold them in the direction the state can wish or want. And that is the end for today. The conclusion is that population studies are really something very important, which need to be a part of all the educational programs which we are having today. And this is a problem. Population explosion is a problem that needs to be addressed in the education, especially for the upcoming generation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for today. Can I have the host, please? Uh, can I have the host here, please? If the host is here, all of you may stay blessed. I'm just waiting for the host to be here if she is here. Can I have the host, please?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your rich content presentation which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your presentation. Now, ma'am,
Thank
it's
you
time
so
for
much.
our question answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable ma'am, please stay with us. After a short video, we will back in our session part 2, which is the question answer part. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Welcome back, ma'am. Welcome back to our participant. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Ma'am, our first question is from Liu Team. How can population education impact public health? Dear IGP Nalasik, it's time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Dear IGP Nalasik, it's time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Certification process. Visit www.edoigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a running session and get enrolled. After watching Comlink Part 1, move to the next with the learning test passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate. If failed to retake the quiz, download your certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I am going to share the procedure again. Visit www.edoigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a learning session and get enrolled. After watching Comlink Part 1, move to the next with the learning test passing mark 80% if passed. Back to the course again to download your certificate if failed to retake the quiz. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear IGP Knowledge, it is time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. We have changed a few processes for online quiz competition. Note that after live, no one can participate. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Visit www.edoigp.com and sign up or sign in. Without this, you cannot join live quiz competition anymore. Browse the live quiz button or given link, find the running session and get enrolled. After joining, for a few minutes for others to join. Enjoy an online live quiz competition. After the live, we will issue certificate for top 10 as previously, which you can find on our official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Profession. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. With 27 people, we are going to start our quiz session. Right, our first question is method of planning for future population growth and urbanization. Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 56% people are right here. Our next question is population projection is essential for planning here. Projection means is it option 1 or option 2? Option 1 is the right answer. 95% people are right here. Our next question is menu planning for infant is different from that for adult population. Is it true or false? Option 1 is the right answer. 95% people are right here. Our next question is in a population focused assessment focused on a specific population for planning and developing intervention programs. Is it true or false? Option 1 is the right answer. 90% people are right here. Our next question is definition for educational planning. Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 1 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Our next question is the system of reference value used for assessing and planning diets for healthy population is called. Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Our next question is population studies yield knowledge important for planning, particularly by governments. Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 95% people are right here. Our next question is which statement describe how government use population statistics for planning? Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 95% people are right here. Second last question of the session is an assessment that can be focused on a specific population for purpose by planning and developing invention type. Is it option 1 or option 2? Hello? Eh. Option 1 is the right answer. 95% people are right here. Our next question is the Family Planning Service and Population Reach Act create federal funding for family planning services. Is it true or false? Option 1 is the right answer. 95% people are right here. Our last and final question of the session is option 1 is the right answer. 95% people are right here. So congratulations to our online quiz competition in the top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in the top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in the top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed you receive. Never stop learning, cause life never stop teaching us. Be happy as to say. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, try to go not a people of things, all but I understand. Before I say or hit the like button, I again want to thank all IGP knowledge seekers for your active participation as always. See you again in the next session. Thank you.